So take it back to when you wrote the memoir of your childhood. This is going to cover a lot of ground for people because, first of all, when people are talking about creating work that can be used as a sample to get work as a professional writer, like in TV, I love reading material that's not just scripts. I expect for people to have scripts that back their talent up. You know, I like to know the script is there to read, but chapters of a memoir, a play, an essay like the one you wrote that went viral. I love reading stuff like that has more personality and individuality. But also I get a lot of questions in these little Q&As about how to approach writing something so overtly personal. And so I'm wondering about your process when you sat down to write that book, if it was technical or totally flowy, how you got into that process.
The very first thing I decided is that there was a contract between the covers of a book, and that within that, it was a covenant, and that I could say whatever I needed to between the covers of that book, and it had a meaning that applied there. It allowed me to be more honest. When I'm deciding what do I want to write about, I want to go to something, one, that scares me, and two, that I haven't totally worked out yet. Because the writing process is the working out of my own thing. And I feel like the catharsis for the audience is that they're trying to work it out too. I can be honest because I don't write for the people who don't get it. If they don't get it, I'm like, okay, they didn't get it. That's fine. I'm writing for the other people who have my same problem, who are maybe trying to work it out too. The other thing I do is that I give myself a lot of writing assignments. So when I first got my agent, in that year and a half between getting the agent and getting my first job, I made myself write so much stuff. I was like, I'm going to write a sexy thriller. I'm going to write an hour-long like YA drama. I'm going to write a half hour. You know, I would take the same material and write it 3 different ways. So my dad was in prison my whole life, basically. I mean, on and off, he's been in prison since I was 3. So I started writing stories about my dad getting out of prison in my first year in the business. Now, I'm still writing that story because I'm still trying to work it out. And it changes I've done it as a 1-hour drama. I've done it as a half hour. I've done it as a cop drama. I've done it every single way. And what's interesting is I just did it again in December. And I don't do that to get a job. I do it for me.
One of my favorite things about being a TV writer at all is that it has sucked so much of the preciousness out of my approach to writing. I am happier in a life where they're like, we need the pages by 5 p.m. And you can create that for yourself if you just say that, like, okay, right now while you're in a pandemic, while you're home more, while you can create your own schedule to do some writing samples. So instead of like, I'm going to write a pilot, maybe do the Tracy McMillan method where you have an idea and you write it as a half hour and as an hour and as a short story. Yeah. Maybe as a feature, and then
100%.
Script Hunger Games, the best one gets sent out.
Yes, exactly. Because when you said it's not good enough, I'm like, or you said maybe it's not good enough. I'm like, oh, it isn't. It's like, oh, it's not good enough. It's not about being perfect. There's no perfection on the human plane. It's about being engaged in the process of working and writing, to me.